Coming up next, workforce and economic development. Prince George's Community College and MGM team up to prepare county residents for jobs in hospitality, tourism, and culinary arts. We'll sit down with two executives tasked with recruiting, hiring, and training workers for the new MGM National Harbor Resort on this edition of Conversations with Charlene Dukes.
Welcome, I'm Charlene Dukes, president of Prince George's Community College. On this edition of Conversations, we're focusing on workforce development. And today we'll highlight the college's partnership with MGM National Harbor. Gaming is one of the fastest growing industries on the East Coast. Maryland is expected to add nearly 4,000 new jobs with the construction and opening of this world-class resort. To help build MGM's workforce, Prince George's Community College is providing training to prepare county residents for jobs in the hospitality industry. Joining me to discuss this important partnership is Logan Gaskill, Vice President of Human Resources at MGM National Harbor, and Jeffrey Elmore, Vice President of Table Games. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're happy to have you here. And what we'd like to do is begin by asking you to share your background with us, your career path, your educational background. Why hospitality?
Absolutely. So again, thank you for having us. We're thrilled to be here. So again, my name is Logan Gaskill, Vice President of Human Resources. I started my career or my education at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm an HBCU alum. And I went into consulting, where I worked for Deloitte Consulting, doing human capital consulting. And I really enjoyed working with people and creating programs that help people have a better time at work. So I worked on everything from change management, training and development, recruiting, kind of across the board in HR. In the middle, I decided to go to graduate school. So I received my MBA from Stanford University, went back into consulting. And after a couple years, I wanted to get out of the consulting space and was really interested in hospitality. And what has drawn me to hospitality, my first role was with Caesars Entertainment before I came to MGM, but the ability to really impact and work with people and create great experience for guests. And when you have great employees, that translates into a great experience for a guest. You really get to see the outcome of what you're doing. And as an HR leader in gaming, it's something that I enjoy and get to see the impact on people. And I've been with MGM now for a little over a year, working on this project, came specifically to work on MGM National Harbor, and really wanted to build something from the ground up, select the right team, build a great culture. And I love the gaming industry. There's so much that we do, from food and beverage, hotels, entertainment, gaming, that there really never is a dull moment. It's an exciting, exciting industry to be a part of.
So, and Jeffrey?
I went to school at West Virginia State College, and about 30 years ago, I started in the casino business. I started off as a security officer, worked in various different departments. I worked in the cage, I worked as a cashier. Then I went to dealing school to learn how to deal. Worked my way up from there as a dealer, floor supervisor, pit manager, assistant shift manager, director, and now I'm the vice president. And what drew me to the business is I used to go back and forth to Atlantic City as a kid, and I had some sisters that lived in Jersey, and just to see the big lights of the casino. I mean, I saw those lights, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I joined the casino back at Caesars. Oh, I shouldn't say that. About 30 years ago. But like I said, I enjoy the chance to meet people from all walks of life. In the gaming industry, you meet celebrities, you meet just common people from different countries, and it's just very exciting just to be able to interact with the different people.
Well, I think what's so fascinating about both of your stories and how you got to where you are, certainly as senior executives, is, graduating, going into consulting, looking at things very differently, and then recognizing how important the guest experience is within this industry. And then, quite frankly, going to Atlantic City, seeing the big lights, and then working your way up through the process, which really says that there are really clear pathways and opportunities for people who are interested in this industry. So why don't we talk about it? And I think we started to hit on that. And what are your primary responsibilities at MGM National Harbor?
So in my role, my responsibility is to find great people to come work on our team and communicate to this area. So a resort like this is new to this area. So kind of educate people about the types of roles that we'll have, what it takes to work at a resort like ours, and what it means to work for MGM. So finding people with great personalities, getting them to apply, and then giving them the training that they need. So my responsibility directly is finding great people, getting them onboarded and trained so they can provide a great guest experience. And I think we'll get into a little bit more on what those roles look like, but it's partnering with people like Jeff and other operators to make sure that they have what they need to be successful from everything from a people standpoint. So that's working through benefits, people, everything that it kind of falls in my umbrella.
And I think as we begin to talk about what people will need to bring with them. So, you know, sometimes it's about credentials and sometimes it's about who you are as an individual and how that translates into the work that needs to be done.
Absolutely.
So your responsibilities,
My responsibility
Jeffrey.
is overseeing all the gaming, table games, whether it's blackjack, craps, roulette, and also overseeing poker as well. So I have the money aspect of it. so he has the people aspect, and I have the people aspect as well. So like I said, in the gaming industry, it's a totally different part of the business. We have a lot of entertainment, but when you talk about gaming, people want to come to the casino. So, you know, they work all week and they want to come there and just to relax and play the game of blackjack or craps or roulette. So that's what I oversee. And like I said, it's very interesting. And people,
So is that a 24-hour job for you?
It's a 24-hour job for me, yeah, absolutely. So my phone never stops ringing, yes.
So for those who haven't yet seen the resort, and as we were saying earlier, if you travel south on 95 or you're traveling north on 95 and you see, quite frankly, this magnificent edifice sort of rising out of the ground. Talk about the size and scope of MGM National Harbor.
Absolutely. So we're thrilled to be building this resort, and my boss Bill Boasberg came from Las Vegas, and he talks about if you could take this resort and put it on the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard, it would stand alone as one of the nicest resorts in Las Vegas. So we're building a truly world-class resort. So we'll have a hotel with about 300 rooms. About 74 of those will be suites. So it's going to be a beautiful hotel. I think 22 stories high, encased in glass. So beautiful views. You can see into D.C. You're looking down the Potomac, looking into Maryland. I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal. In addition, we'll have about 12 food and beverage outlets that you can eat at. We're partnering with some celebrity chefs. So Jose Andres is going to be running our seafood restaurant. The Voltaggio brothers are going to be running our steakhouse, and Marcus Samuelson is going to come and do a concept similar to his Red Rooster in Harlem up in New York. So we're partnering with some great people from a food and beverage aspect. In addition, we're going to have a theater. So we have a 3,000-seat theater that's going to be very versatile that we can use for music shows or comedians or potentially doing something like boxing or an MMA event. And in addition, that's not even when we talk about the gaming. So I'll let Jeff talk a little bit about the gaming floor.
We're going to have over 125,000 square feet of gaming area as well. And like I said, it's going to include table games, poker, and also slots. So, you know, the people who are intimidated by the table game, they can go set and they can play the slots and they can concentrate on that and try to hit the jackpot in slots. So, like I said, like Logan said, we're going to have a lot, not just gaming, but other entertainment for people.
Well, I think we can hear the excitement in your voices, and I know that here in Prince George's County, we're very excited for MGM National Harbor to be here in our geographic location, and excited about what the possibilities are for our community. So how will MGM National Harbor compare to other MGM resorts?
I think MGM has set a huge standard. And I'll let Jeff speak to this as well because he's worked at a couple of our resorts. But we set a very high standard. And when we come somewhere, we want to make sure that we're leaving a real imprint and impact in the area. And when we spare no expense. So this resort's going to cost around $1.3 billion to build. It's not just a casino, it is a resort. And MGM, it's important that we have a full entertainment experience. So everything we just mentioned, including some retail that we'll have. So it's going to be an amazing overall experience. And I'll let Jeff talk a little bit about the comparisons.
Yes, I've been with the company for over 15 years. I worked at New York, I worked at the Mirage. I saw the casinos out in Las Vegas, and this is going to be one of a kind. It's going to be one of our #1 destinations in the U.S. So this property, we're putting a lot of resources into it, and like I said, this was a wow factor. When I was at the Mirage, that was my dream job. But when they said they were going to build this property here, I said I raised my hand. I'm number one. I want to go.
All right,
you know,
great.
so I'm just proud to be here. You know, so being from West Virginia, being on the East Coast, this is about 6 hours from my home, so it's coming back home to me.
Well, I'm not too far from where your home is, being someone from Pennsylvania, so I clearly understand. And you know, if we can switch gears for just a moment, we know that tourism is a major industry in the Washington, D.C. region, and we know that hospitality is probably not far behind because in many ways they're connected.
Absolutely.
So can you talk to us about what you know about the employment outlook for the hospitality industry, maybe nationally, and then bring it here home to Prince George's County and the Washington, D.C. area?
Absolutely. So let me preface by saying I'm not an expert in this space, but I think hospitality is growing and tourism is growing, right? As the economy gets better, I think more people are taking time to go travel to different parts of the country and see different attractions, whereas they may not have been doing as much traveling in recent years. I think D.C. being our nation's capital, there are a lot of people that want to come here. And I think that's domestically, but also when people come from other countries, they want to come to the nation's capital of America and have that experience. So I think our resort being here raises the bar, and it'll be something that people will want to come see. And I think it's important when we talk about hospitality, it's a very broad group. So that's everything from the small bed and breakfast to the hole-in-the-wall barbecue place, you know, somewhere in D.C. or Prince George's County, all the way up to the large convention space at the Gaylord or in Washington Convention Space, and kind of everything in between. And in this area, I think it is growing. More people are coming to Washington, D.C., and our resort is going to drive, we think, even more people and a lot more jobs. So I think that the outlook is very positive overall for hospitality, but specifically for this area.
Absolutely. We're going to see this area grow, creating jobs for people in this area. I mean, like I said, I started as a dealer. We're going to have dealer positions, but not only just dealer positions, we're going to have cage positions, we're going to have finance positions. I mean, not just entry-level positions, but positions where they can come in management, you know. So I think it's going to be great for this area.
So as I think about what my future might hold, you think there might be something for me in this area?
I think we can figure something out. I think
we think about service industries and that quite frankly, you're servicing people in one aspect and we're servicing them in another. So as we think about what we'll continue to talk about as we welcome Logan Gaskill and Jeffrey Elmore, what we're going to do now is take a short break. But when we return, let's talk about the role of Prince George's Community College and helping build MGM's workforce. Stay with us.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Conversations. I'm here with Logan Gaskill and Jeffrey Elmore, two senior executives from MGM National Harbor. As a part of MGM's efforts to recruit, hire, and train skilled employees, MGM donated $100,000 to support the college's Hospitality Express training program. So let's talk about, Logan, why was it so important to partner with Prince George's Community College?
Absolutely. So when MGM came to Prince George's County, we wanted to find great partners, and it became very clear very quickly that we want to partner with Prince George's Community College. You know, the reputation that the school has, the reach, the number of students that it serves, and that it really does truly serve the entire county was really important to us. So as we wanted to get people prepared to work at MGM National Harbor, it was a natural fit that we would partner with the community college.
And then tell us, because we also know that there are other institutions and organizations that are part of really, I think, this network of partners that MGM National Harbor has in order to, quite frankly, meet the goals that you've set for yourselves as an organization. So what are some of those, and tell us what you're doing with them?
Absolutely. So we're partnering with a variety of organizations, some other educational institutes, so Bowie State we're working with, as well as the University of Maryland, and we'll be partnering with them to recruit some of their students, help expose them to the types of roles we have, and once we get open, and have some internship opportunities from students at all those 3 schools. In addition, we're partnering with the EDC here locally to help provide funding for people to prepare for the roles that we're going to have at MGM National Harbor. The Training Source is a great organization that helps get people trained from a workforce readiness standpoint, so whether it's resume writing or interview skills or other classes that they have. So as we look to hire almost 4,000 people, there were a lot of different organizations we want to partner with to make sure everybody has a chance to get one of the roles with us.
And I think that the great thing about that is that all of the organizations that you've already named in higher education institutions, and probably a multitude of others, that there's a network of support and relationships among all of us that as we look at students transferring to Bowie State University or the University of Maryland College Park, as we look at the work we do with the Training Source for work readiness. How do we ensure that when people walk onto our work sites that they're ready and they understand what it means to be a great worker, not just a good worker, but a great worker, a great employee. So I think that we're just as appreciative of the partnership, because we know what it means to educate people and make sure that there is workforce at the end of that education, that opportunity for employment.
Absolutely.
So one of the partnerships we have is around Hospitality Express training, and that provides residents with the information, skills, industry certifications that you all are looking for as you think about your workforce. So what are some of those certifications that are important to you?
Absolutely. So as we look at opportunities for people to come work, if you want to work in food and beverage, there's a ServSafe certification. That's food handling, to understand how to work with food. A lot of the class was focused around work readiness. So, to your point, showing up day one, being ready to work, but also guest service. So in the hospitality industry, that's the most important thing to us at MGM, is making sure that people are having a great experience. So a large part of that class is focused on a certification that says, I've been trained in guest service, and I know what that means. And also the class, to your point, there's a growth in hospitality roles with us and other organizations in the area. So a lot of people haven't necessarily thought about hospitality as a career, and we want to talk about what that career looks like. So it's not just a summer job or something to do in the meantime. It can truly be a career, which I think Jeff exemplifies really well as somebody who started, worked his way really to the top of his profession.
Oh, absolutely, and I was so impressed with that, and I think it sends a message to young people even about what a career trajectory can look like within an organization. We tell people so many times today that unlike when I started, because I've been in education now probably almost 37 years, that today we say you may work someplace for 5 years and then you move on. And maybe what the real message is, you may work in this position in this place for 5 years, but then what you're looking at is opportunity for growth.
100%.
And so absolutely. So we also know, Jeff, that there are a few things around gaming licenses that will be really essential. So what are some of the requirements that individuals will have to meet in order to be able to apply for the positions at MGM in the gaming portion?
Okay, we're going to partner with you with Prince George's Community College to offer a wide variety of games like blackjack, craps, roulette. And once they go through that process, then they will have to pass a background test, a drug test, and also the Maryland gaming requirements. So there are some steps to become a dealer, but we're going to provide them with the first basic part of it is by partnering with Prince George's Community College, so they can go to school to learn how to deal in different games. Like I said, blackjack, and we also offer poker as well. So people that don't want to just deal blackjack, craps, roulette, they can learn how to deal poker, which is, they offer a different variety of poker games as well.
And I would imagine with the licensing process, first they have to be trained, know what to do, go through some of the testing that you've spoken to, and then applying for the licenses through the state with all of the requirements that the state would provide.
Absolutely.
And I know that you all are having a number of job fairs around the region.
Absolutely.
And I would believe that as part of those job fairs, you're very explicit with people about what the requirements are and what they need to be thinking about as they think about employment in this industry.
Absolutely. And I think to Jeff's point with dealer school, it's important to know that that's an intensive program that takes around 4.5 months. So it's a real commitment to do that and participate in that class. And we are partnering with Prince George's Community College. And over the course of April, we will be having information sessions because, again, this is one of those roles that hasn't existed in this region. So exposing people to what that job is, what it takes, and what the benefits of being in that role from a career standpoint, from a providing for your family standpoint, really looks like. So I think, I don't want to gloss over that. I think, a table games dealer is one of the premier roles in a resort like ours. And we want to make sure people are exposed and that they're applying for that position in the school.
And there's also growth. You may start out as a dealer because you have to get those basic skills. But then, like I said, there's the opportunity to grow within in the table games department. Like I said, I've grown into a vice president. And I think that if people don't realize that, they say, "Oh, I'm just going to be a dealer." But you won't just be a dealer. If you apply yourself and show up every day prepared and try to educate yourself on other games, you have that career growth opportunity.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. And what we're going to do now is we'll take another short break. And when we return, find out how you can apply for jobs at MGM. Stay with us.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stands.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first element. Helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back. The partnership between MGM National Harbor and Prince George's Community College is a win-win for the company, our institution, and county residents. But once students have completed the Hospitality Express training or one of the other workforce development programs, quite frankly, how do they apply for jobs at MGM?
That's a great question. So the most important thing is to go to our website, mgmnationalharbor.com. There's a job section on that website that'll give people the information to apply for the job. So there's 3 things that you can do there. One, you can go to our Skill Smart link, and that is simply a workforce development tool that allows people to understand what our roles are and how their particular skills fit for those roles, and then how you can continue to build those schools through great workforce development partners such as Prince George's Community College. In addition, we have a talent network where you can sign up, indicate interest in different types of roles, and then we will email you and alert you when those jobs are posted and you want to apply. Now, it's important to know that neither one of those is actually applying for a job. There's a third link that as we start posting more jobs over the coming months, that you have to go to that link and actually apply for those jobs. So the other 2 are just tools, but we have a website where you click on that link and actually apply for the job. And we're posting a lot of our management level jobs over the next coming months, and we'll get in this summer probably start posting a lot of our entry level positions.
So what I heard is go to mgmnationalharbor.com.
Yes.
You'll click on the link around employment, but what will happen is there'll be actually 3 things you could do.
Absolutely.
You could go to Skill Smart, so you understand what skills are necessary for the work at MGM based upon position, and then you can go to a talent network,
yes. And you can indicate what you're interested in. And so by joining that network, instead of having to check our job site every day, we'll email out to you and say, hey, we just posted a bartender position, or we posted our dealer positions, or our manager of our warehouse. So whatever roles you're interested in, you can indicate that on the talent network. It'll let you know it's time to apply for that position.
And then, of course, the third one is actually applying.
Absolutely.
So MGM has made a commitment to hire a large percentage of your employee base from Prince George's County. Can you talk about that for us? Why was it? What is the commitment and why it was important?
Right. It's important for MGM when we enter different communities to have an impact on the community. And by opening this resort, we wanted the people of Prince George's County to benefit in many ways. And then one of those ways is from an employment standpoint. So we set a goal with the county to open with 40% of our employees coming from Prince George's. And that ramps up so that over the course of 5 years, we'll be at 50%. Now, our aspirational goal is to open with 50% of our people from Prince George's County. And not only that, but we also, when we get them in the door, we want to provide those career opportunities and training programs for people to advance. So whether they start as a dealer and move their way up, or whether they start in the hotel at the front desk and become a supervisor or a manager. So not only do we want to get people from Prince George's initial opportunities, we want to make sure that they're having lasting careers with MGM here or at any of our other properties.
So one of the things, Jeff, and let's talk about personality types. What kind of person is best suited for the work at MGM National Harbor? What traits do they need to have? What do they need to come with?
They have to come with just a bubbly attitude and just that smile. You know, every day you show up to work, what I tell them is showtime. Yeah, because people are here on their vacations or traveling just to come to see the resort. And they're here to spend their hard-earned money. So when you go out there on that floor, it is showtime. Put a smile on your face and go out there and just show the guests that they are welcome here. You know, because we could teach someone how to deal. We could teach them how to work at the front desk or in the cage. But you can't teach people how to have that personality. So that's what we look for, people that they got that in their stomach saying, you know what, this is where I want to be. I want to make a career of this. This is not just like a summer job or 1 year or two. We want it to be a career for everyone that joins our team. So we're looking for that person that has that it.
All right, so I think people have heard it's that
Yes.
it around your personality
Absolutely.
and your willingness to serve.
Yeah.
So will MGM offer internships to college students as they begin to think about where they might want to go in this industry?
Absolutely. So once we get open, we kind of got to get open before we can do internships, but we do want to start exploring those opportunities. And I think there's some of the traditional internships around, you know, for business students who want to go into marketing and finance. We don't talk a lot about our back of house operations, HR, legal, so there are those types of roles. But even in other fields such as entertainment or in the hotel, hospitality, food and beverage area, I think that there will be internship opportunities. It's important to note that to work at our resort, you have to be 21 years of age. So it won't be for freshmen going into sophomore year if you're a traditional student, but there will be those opportunities for the people who are of age and want to learn and come into our organization. It's a great mechanism for us to bring people in, see how they fit, and if they do a good job, hopefully get them in a full-time position.
And then lastly, what advice would both of you give, if you take about 20 seconds each, what advice would you give anyone who's interested in MGM or starting a career in the hospitality industry?
I'll let Logan take this.
So very quickly, I would say do your homework, understand what the industry is about. Take some time to either take a course, such as a Hospitality Express Start class here at Prince George's Community College, and understand what it is. And have an open mind. If you haven't had anybody in your family work in this industry, go talk to people who have, understand their career trajectory, like somebody like a Jeff and what that opportunity is. So really educate yourself. And this is an exciting opportunity. If you like to have fun and work in a dynamic environment, join us at MGM.
Yeah, and we're going to have some informational sessions before we have our dealer school. So join us at those informational sessions so that you can learn a little bit more about what it is to be a dealer and to work at MGM.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm excited. Yeah. So I want to thank you, Logan. Thank you, Jeffrey, for being my guest on the program today. And for more information on the Hospitality Express training program at Prince George's Community College, please visit www.pgcc.edu. For more information about employment at MGM National Harbor, visit www.mgmnationalharbor.com. I'm Charlene Dukes, and thanks for watching this edition of Conversations.